fucked him up.
Yeah, fucked him up.
He's been fucked up many times. He's had his neck. John was saying he's had his neck like he has like shit fused or metal to keep his neck together. He's a fucking train wreck.
Wow.
He's still really strong now. I saw him work out on Instagram. It was unfucking believable.
Really?
The shit he can do, even now, is insane.
Uh-huh.
He can do pull-ups where he pulls himself up and he pushes himself out like this, and then pulls himself back in and then down.
Wow.
And then he was doing pull-ups with a kettlebell strapped to his fucking waist, and it had to be, 50, 60 pounds. I mean, he's strong. He's unbelievable.
Wow.
But John said he did a lot of drugs. He did a lot of like longevity drugs and fucking GH and test and all kinds of shit. I said he would have to look like that.
Yeah.
In his late 60s, he would have to be roided out of his fucking mind. There's no way you could do that and look even remotely normal.
And
okay, get back to you were at
the Army, and then the VA, then the military. Yeah, and the transgender people. How are you going to throw them out when they've only learned how to coordinate one color scheme? You know, the Air Force, they got color coordinating blue, Navy, white, maybe beige, maybe blue. Army is all green. That's really cruel. Where are you gonna? Yeah. How are you gonna be woman integrating the world without one color? Unless it's black and you're goth. But yeah, that would be. Those are the black ops they need. Kaboom. So why was I mentioning this? Yeah, so that because I was in the military and I'm actually half German, they always go, Richie, what do you think about Trump? I said, I hate it when people compare Trump to Hitler. Because let's face it, Hitler was a veteran.
Kaboom.
Kaboom. Hitler kept his own hair color, kept his own skin color. He wrote his own book. He wasn't afraid of Russians. And when he took your kids, he remembered where he put them.
Kaboom.
Kaboom.
Going to Hitler had a fashion sense.
Yeah, and speaking of transgender, and Hitler had a fashion sense.
Keep going.
I mention this because I go to the Museum of Tolerance, which is really, it's a terrible name. It's really another Holocaust museum, and they call it the Museum of Tolerance. But they're not. But they always get so mad when I wear my SS uniform. I said, not only is this not tolerance, this isn't even gratitude. This uniform put you on the map. I'm glad you commemorate everything, but stop acting like it was your idea. Kaboom. You didn't even pay for anything. You didn't pay for rail fare.
Hilarious. Kaboom. Keep going.
Yeah, because people I always made the comment, all these groups have suffered. Not just Jews, but the Chinese during World War II, the Japanese here during World War II, Latinos, blacks, slaves, but only the Jews get all the movies, and that's when I tell them, I said, that's what you have to understand about life. Victimhood is really competitive. Of course the Jews are going to get it. But, because people ask me about my background, I'm half German and half Jewish, and they say, well, isn't that a conflict? I said, I think about my background, and I think of Sophie's Choice and Schindler's List. And I'm thinking, it's not a conflict. That's an Academy Award. That's box office. Because that's what, so many people have suffered through. But what you really need you need these well-dressed Germans and these photogenic Jews, and that's what makes it work. Because victimhood is such a competition. When you ask about my background, I don't, because victimhood is really competitive. And what you need is teamwork. And that's what my background is. So I need to do that differently. I said, no, that's nothing about my background. I said, that's not a conflict. That's teamwork. And that's important because victimhood is really competitive. Kaboom. Then, yeah, I don't mind talking about race because as a half German, a lot of my relatives were black when they came out of the oven. Kaboom. Talk about ashy skin. Because you thought you had a smoking problem. You miss your relatives. I sneeze and they're gone. And then my Jewish friends, they give me crap about that because we're just giving you crap because you're paying for the sins of your father. I said, no, you're giving me crap because you don't understand this joke. My father was Jewish. He never paid for anything. Kaboom.
Speaking of Jews, look who's walking on the street.
Oh, is it?
There's a yarmulke on.
Oh, see a lot of them. All right. Well, I know. I thought, they're so good with money. How come they always wear the worst toupees? They don't even. You can tell. I mean, couldn't you get just real hair? Couldn't you get a real wig? I don't under. Why would you want to knit one of these little things? They're not fooling anybody.
Hilarious.
Hi. Roxy. See a lot of conservative Jews over this way.
Obviously.
But, well, I said hello. Did they wave? Did they?
They went like this.
Yeah. Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I'm not wearing my glass. Oh, okay.
You scared them, I think.
Oh, yeah. You think their Judar would be on? Too many German
They
cars.
smelled the German, man.
Yeah, all right.
They're afraid they might become crispy.
I don't know. They always get. I always get irritated when they don't like German cars. I said, you don't want to drive a German car. You especially don't want to drive a Volkswagen. I said, you know who else didn't want you to drive a Volkswagen? Hitler. You're doing exactly what he wanted you to do. If you buy a German car, German company's working for you. And in fact, they're paying for Israel anyhow. That's the thing. Because people want to think that Germany's. When they think of Germany, all they think about is Hitler. Unless they need a nice car, or shaver, or coffee maker. You think about. So someone says, "Oh, how did you know somebody was German?" Oh, he said Heil Hitler. An Israeli girl said that. I said, really? 70 years? This is all you can remember for the founder of Israel? You think that the guy who set it up so that Germany would pay for everything? He's going to pay for most of that country and make sure you don't have to fight over apartments with that many people?
Have you been to Israel?
No.
Super expensive.
Is it? That's one place I never wanted to go.
I've never been. It's super expensive. It's more expensive than New York.
Well, I've heard, because it's like 100% inflation. No, I just kind of resent it. Because what they do to the Palestinians is over 70 years. That's.
Well, it's funny because I know all these Israelis that are moving back, and my first question is why? Because to live there, like a fucking apartment as big as your front lawn is like $1 million.
Oh, really?
It's insane.
Uh-huh.
It's not, and those fucking people are animals. They're fucking animals.
Mm-hmm. I don't. Well, just the racism, just what the army does to the kids, and they excuse everything. Murdering, even Joan Rivers, she went nuts talking about that.
Like what?
She would say, oh, someone says a bunch of kids getting shot on the beach and everybody goes, boo-hoo. Well, yeah. Well, they were told not to be. She's completely brainwashed. I love Howard Stern, but when he talks about that stuff, I get a little bit.
Like what? Talk about it.
Oh, she was, that he can't understand why anyone wants to criticize Israel. That's a good thing about
My problem with Israelis is people, because I have a ton of Israeli clients. They like to pay you.
Oh, really?
And I'll slap. I have scared. I grabbed one of my clients by the throat, slammed him into the concrete. Oh, I don't. You gotta fucking bitch slap those niggers. You gotta.
Oh, really?
You gotta get nigger on them, because they'll get it. If they can get away with it, they'll get away with it. But if you start whipping their ass, they don't like to pay you. Nigerians like to pull shit with money.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I don't think it's worth this. You just break one of their arms. My friend's Nigerian told me that. I was training his brother. He goes, just break an arm or a finger or something.
Really?
And he was serious. He goes, you don't have to break. I said, that's okay. You signed a release for him. I don't give a fuck. I broke his finger. I broke his pinky. Broke it like that. I don't want to pay you. And I think he went to punch me. And as I moved, I trapped his, I fucked his arm up. And as his arm, I just broke his finger. And then he paid me. Then my kid told me he couldn't come back anymore. Because if I got to break shit on you every time you come here to get paid, that's not going to work out.
Yeah, how are you going to reach your money?
Exactly. How am I going to get my money? But his finger was literally like, I broke it. I just split it off. And to this day, he respects that. He doesn't fuck with me. He goes, Muratore, you almost killed me. I said, I was going to break your fucking neck, dude. I'm from a different world. I said, I'm from your world. I don't play that shit. I scared the shit out of a bunch of fucking women at Westwood Park. They still came back and caused trouble yesterday.
When you were with Dave?
Let me pause you. Yeah, remember when I told you they pissed on my phone and they pissed on the dog? You're at 56 minutes, which is really fucking good.
Oh, thank you. Hello, shots. So... Blah, blah, blah. We did the lesbians, we did
the lesbians.
And then we did victimhood is really competitive.
Keep going.
And, so I'm half German and half, we did, that's how we got into this. It was Israelis. I said, but that's the thing. I said, they said, Hitler was the founder of Israel. He made sure that Germany was going to pay for most of this country. Do you really think about... My father was just, do you think they really wanted to... You think they were going to pay for all this by themselves?
Hilarious.
You really think... he made it... You didn't all have to fight a bunch of... You don't have as many people fighting over the same apartments.
Jews... See, it's funny, because either Jews are incredible... What people don't get... And maybe you can put this in a joke, because I have a lot of Jewish clients. Either they're incredibly generous, or they're incredibly cheap.
Yep.
My friend's aunt ripped me off, and then I robbed her. I trained her. This was like 5-6 years ago. I still was living in Tarzana. She runs up a $180 tab with me, and says that she didn't want to pay me. And you know how I roll.
Yeah.
I think my stepfather was still alive, so it was probably like 12... It was a while ago, because I robbed her. As I'm walking out of the house, I'm looking for cameras. I robbed this statue that was incredibly expensive. I just stole it. And I kept walking with it. And I had it in my house. And I called my friend. And I said, tell your fucking cunty aunt, bring me my money. He goes, do you have her statue? I go, yeah. I'm about to sell it. And I think I called my old man or one of his friends. They're all antique dealers. And I said, how much for this? I took a picture of it. And that's a lot. It's like 15 grand. I said, okay. I literally was packing it to sell it, send it off. And he comes in my house. I walk out with a machete, because I didn't trust him. I had a fucking machete. I said, where's my money? And he's like, breaks out my money. I said, and I had it all packed. I said, you got a handle. He said, there's your statue. He goes, are you sure? I go, open it. What do you think, I'd fuck you over? I said, our friendship's over, because your fucking aunt is a piece of shit. But I'm a man of my word. Open it. And it was all packed and beautiful. But yeah, I was going to chop off his fucking arm. I was serious about killing him. Because it was a lot of money. It was a lot. She owed me a lot of fucking money.
Oh, not 180?
That was the end game.
Oh.
It was like in the thousands.
Oh, so you got it all?
Oh, yeah. I said, or this statue goes to Singapore or wherever the fuck it's going, and I'm gonna walk away with 15 G's. I have split it with the antique deal. I would have walked with like 6. And he shit himself. I said, I'll chop off your head, motherfucker. If I go to jail again, death penalty. I will have a head as a hat. I will have my own cooking show. I will be famous in death row, but I ain't doing fucking general population. So I'm gonna have to do shit that's so fucking horrible that the judge just says, fuck it. See ya. As I tell all my friends, if you're gonna go to jail, get the death penalty. Because that's the Beverly Hills of jails. You ain't in general population. You live well. And you could be there for decades before they execute you. You might never get executed.
Yeah.
You might just be there forever.
Appeal.
Not even just that. It takes forever to fucking kill you. It's decades. Unless you're like Bundy or one of those fuckers. Richard Ramirez, they tried to speed it up. What's the other guy? The charming one. The real fucking lunatic.
Bundy was one of the real charming ones. No, you don't mean Charles Manson. He was
it was Bundy, right?
Yeah, he was a really charming. He was really charismatic.
Right, and good looking. What was the one, the clown that killed everybody?
Gacy.
It took a while to kill Gacy. It took at least 15, 16 years to kill Gacy.
It took a while, yeah.
Gacy was out of his fucking mind. Ed Gein, I don't think they ever killed. I think they put him in a psych ward.
Who was that? Ed Gein? Oh.
That was one that used to wear people like his coats and shit.
Oh, really?
He went crazy.
Wow.
But that's what you do. You get the death penalty. Because if you get the death penalty, then you live like a human. Because if you get old, you can't be in general population. You'll get abused. They'll fuck you. They'll kill you. They'll fucking beat you up every day. That's why guys will kill their cellmates to get death penalty. That happened. I was watching a thing on Netflix. Guy killed a cellmate so he could do death row. And I get it. People go, well, why do you do that? I say, because he can live. It's like the Beverly Hills of prisons.
I didn't know that.
Those supermaxes are incredibly clean, and if you don't fuck with anybody and you obey the rules, they don't fuck with you.
I know someone who was in Supermax.
He worked in Supermax, or he was in Supermax.
Oh no, he was in Supermax.
What did he do?
I don't know. It was the guy who rents my Mini Cooper, his brother-in-law.
He had to do something really bad to be in Supermax.
Oh, I don't know.
Supermax, you're like an armed robber. You're like a Unabomber. You're like a mob boss.
But was Brian Ross in Supermax?
No, he's just a drug addict.
No, because I know there are some. Because he and then somebody else, a friend of mine who works at KPFK, his brother, I think, because some of the prisons, because Brian Ross was talking about, with some of these, where the guys are so hardcore, by the time they get to this one prison, it's like you described Supermax, that everyone is so polite. Everyone is so polite. Everybody obeys the rules because they know everyone else is just as bad as they are.
Well, there was one dude, he was the head of the white supremacy group. Or neo-Nazis or something. He was a fucking loon. He used to kill the guards and drag them around.
Where was it?
He's in Supermax. He's like one of the most dangerous fucking convicts in the world. They have him like locked up. He's on 24-hour-a-day isolation because he's so fucking crazy. He's in his late 60s, early 70s, but he killed a lot of fucking people. He used to kill fucking guards all the time.
Really?
He'd make an example of him. He'd jack him up. He looks like a little old man, killed a lot of fucking people. You can look him up, like one of the most dangerous convicts in America. He's really insane. But he killed a lot of fucking people.
Wow. So it's funny you were talking about the one guy who uses, because the nice thing about older women, they're, they talk about being comfortable in their own skin. And I'm not worried. Well, and that's nice too. But on them, it's really loose. So the good thing is too, because it's not just that they're comfortable in their own skin, but I'm comfortable in their own skin too. Kaboom.
That's hilarious.
That's so nice. I want to be comfortable.
It's like a nice coat.
It's like a nice coat.
Comforter.
That's what I like to. Yeah, that's what I went for as Halloween. With my ex-girlfriend. Just.
I hate fucking old women. I get hit on by an old woman probably once a week,
Uh-huh.
and I find them fucking appalling. And it's not the reasons people think. It's not just the way they look and their age. It's their bullshit. They have these ideas that are just fucking unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's one lady's like, well, you have to wine and dine me. I'm like, bitch, I don't even want to talk to you.
Uh-huh.
You're like fucking 65 years old. I have no need for you.
Uh-huh.
You're delusional. Go find an 80-year-old man. I think that could work for you, but...
What also depends if they're the ones who are used to having everything done for them. They think that just because they're female.
I couldn't deal with Nicolette Sheridan. I found her. I mean, we're friends, and I found her nothing short of appalling.
Oh, really?
Oh God.
Was it you were dating her for a while?
I fucked around with her. Yeah, she was awful though.
Oh, really?
Awful. Everything about her. It's just awful, pussy, and just not.
Mm-hmm.
She'll never get her.
Not with that attitude. I go.
Just awful. And she's all about cash, but guys with cash, I told her, a guy with $20 million isn't going to date you. He's going to date a 30-year-old girl. Why would he date you? What's the benefit to you?
Right.
Motherfuckers that date you, they're star fuckers. They want the street cred. That's what we told her about her boyfriend that she's got now. He's fucking you for the street cred. I could care less about that. I don't want you around. You're too much drama for me.
Oh, really?
Oof.
I mean, didn't she save any money from her?
Oh no, she's loaded. Yeah, she got tons of money. But she's cheap, and she's irritating.
Uh-huh.
She's fucking irritating. And she's never on time. She's one of those bitches that's always nigger late, like massively late. I think it's one of the reasons why they fired her on Desperate Housewives. She was never on time.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, like it's documented. She would not show up on time. And they got tired of it. She wasn't worth $4.5 million a season. She just wasn't worth the money. She's a fucking actress. I mean, unless you're drawing crazy money, you're not gonna be able to get away with that shit. You have to be able to really draw.
Right.
She's good looking for her age, but she's just not. It's her spirit. She's just shitty.
Oh, really?
Ugh. I screamed at her several times. One time I almost smacked the fuck. She went to punch me in the face, fucking around. I grabbed her hand like this. And I go, your punch has no depth. And I start breaking her ankles. And she freaked out. I go, I'm not your boyfriend. You'll be dead. That's you need to go somewhere else with that shit. Yeah, she's too much drama. She'll call me like every couple of months. She's a fucking headache.
Oh, we don't train her anymore?
Not really. She's out in Atlanta now.
Oh.
She'll call me. She called me like Monday, like last Monday. It was real early though. I was asleep. I was awake. I heard the phone. I don't want to fucking deal with it. Keep going.
Okay. So, so as long as I'm comfortable, I'm glad.
That's really fucking funny and new. I'm comfortable in their skin. It's really funny shit. You know, they're kind of uncomfortable in their skin, but like older women, they get old. You know, their skin. They're kind of uncomfortable in their skin. You got to make them uncomfortable, and then you go, I'm comfortable in their skin.
No, I was going to say they're comfortable in their skin, and that's fine as long as I'm comfortable in their skin too.
It's really funny. It's creepy as fuck, but it's really fucking funny.
No, I don't. I like to wear them and watch The Revenant. I am
hilarious. Not everybody's gonna get that. That's funny though. I saw The Revenant. It was great.
Oh, really? My roommate saw it, I think. But
great movie. We get a tissue. Great fucking movie. He was great. He was great in that movie. He's a hell of an actor when he's on it. as long as I'm comfortable in their skin.
Yeah, the problem with women is they just get really clingy. You know, like when they're hanging from an overpass. Kaboom.
It's how you gotta say it too. You gotta just throw it away. Yeah, they can really quick. You know when they're hanging from an overpass.
This is too.
Yeah.
Whatever. Kaboom. You see, because I'm more sentimental than you think. That's the reason I do the kabooms. Because a lot of women I've been with, that's the last thing they ever hear.
That's hilarious.
Kaboom. I said, and like I said, I mean, sometimes I have the OCD with that too. I can't let go of an ex unless he's at least 50 feet in the air.
Kaboom.
Kaboom. But then, there's always a danger that she'll leave a bad impression on my neighbor's hood.
Kaboom.
Kaboom. So, neighbors, but the thing is too, some of these women, you just don't know where they're coming from. I grew up in LA. I understand. It still hurts. They think, they think, you think they're really into you, then they find out that it's not a real Rolex or that the gun doesn't work and they start to complain. Your closet's too dark. The handcuffs are too tight. Your urine tastes funny. Kaboom. You know what? And I said, you know what? That gun might be plastic, but my feelings are still real. And when you start running into traffic and flagging down cars, I feel like you don't even like me. Kaboom. Yeah. And it's a lot of it. It's just communication. I noticed that too because lot of mixed signals because when the women they blow those rape whistles, they don't want to get raped at all. I used to hear that whistle. I used to come running with my candy and flowers. Oh boy, it's gonna be my turn. and I get it, and somebody'd already be there. I said, darn, I thought it was gonna be my turn. Shucks, and they're together. You think they'd be happy, but they're all really upset. She's all upset and he's really tense. I said, why don't you let me have a try? I could put my thumb on that larynx. I could put that knife against that jugular vein. We'd have the best time ever.
See, you've got to, when you do this shit, because of all the Me Too shit, you've got to totally commit and not give a fuck what they think. You got to get them so into you that they just don't care. That's what makes it fucking funny. It's the irony of it. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That it's not real. It's so insane that you can't take. It's like watching a horror movie. You can't take it seriously.
Or it's like watching a cartoon.
You're right.
Yeah, it's like Wile E. Coyote exploding in the room full of TNT and then coming back on the next scene. That doesn't really happen.
No, I did when I did the gig, the Riverside gig that you'll do, I'm up there, and there was this light-skinned black guy who's half, and there was this black girl, and I started talking to them, and they loving it, and their black friends started talking shit. So you know me. In the middle of the fucking set, I started to go, nigga, it ain't real. And I just kept going, and he looked at me, I go, you heard what I fucking said, from a fucking half to a full, it ain't real. And everybody started laughing. I go, it's a joke, motherfucker, it's not reality.
What was the joke?
I was just talking shit to them, and they. I think I said something like, "This is a miracle. A black woman. Well, he's almost black, half black man," and everybody fucking started laughing. I go, "It's a miracle. You guys are like, you never see that."
Yeah. Jeff Keller did that once. I said, I saw this black guy out with a black girl.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
And they fucking died, and he got mad. I'm like, "Fuck you." They were awful, but the room, the fucking MC was shit-faced, and I'm like, dude, you can't run a room like
this. Is that J-Rock or?
No, that's just as bad, though, but...
So you're going there on the 27th?
Where?
That show that you sent me?
Oh, no, that was my show. I didn't mean to send that to you. You want to come by and hang out, but no, I'm booking you.
Okay.
Remind me in January, you're getting booked somewhere.
Okay. Oh, right. Oh, that was your... Okay. Oh, I didn't...
What it was when I do I didn't know what your fucking name was. Now I know it, because I don't like to send shit to comics. It's silly. But what it is when you do it through Messenger, it moves so fast that you have to... when you send them this way, you can't reverse it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you check them off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inside Messenger, you do invites. You can uncheck them.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a new thing in Messenger where you can go in and I can send like 100 fucking flyers in 10 minutes directly to people. Well, what happens is if I fuck up and I push it, I can't reverse it. It's already, you already have it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great because I literally can go through my whole list and they'll get it in their message box usually. They won't get it if it's on their page. And, you know, if you do 100, you'll get probably 5 responses, and then one person will show. But hit up Brett Miller and tell him you want to do Riverside. I think he's doing it once a month, starting, I think it was Thursday.
Okay.
She might be able to get him there on the rock.
I'm not even sure she really wants to catch him.
I've seen fast dogs grab them, but they're quick.
Yeah.
There's one kind of dog that can snatch squirrels, and I forgot what it was. It's a little tiny dog, but it's bred to do that. It's bred to fucking hunt little animals like that.
Well, yeah, she's bred to hunt badgers or European badgers. That's what a dachs is.
What's it do?
That's why they have the short legs and the long body, so they can go down the badger holes and rabbit holes.
Shit.
You didn't know that?
No.
That's what dachshunds are bred for. They're hunting dogs.
Yeah, they're tiny little fuckers. I can't think of the name of them. But they're real ornery. And they can hunt shit like that. They're quick. They're tiny though. They're like that big.
Yeah. She's pretty good for an 11-year-old dog.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So what was I?
Go into. All right, so you did that. Do the thing. Okay.
Well, I was gonna. Okay. Oh, with yeah, we did the rape whistle, and I really commit because it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, you gotta like your character. You have to completely commit and pull them into your world so they don't get scared. You have to really. You have to put them in there where it's so unbelievable that they can't think it's real.
Right.
If you see the way you do it is funny to me because you're not mean.
Yeah.
It's so fucking out there. Yeah, you know, it's comfortable on me and be like, it's funny to me because it's not real.
Right. Say I had an ex-girlfriend that said, I mean, a lot of people, because nobody believes that, which is.
Americans are fucking idiots anyway because everything they see they believe, which is so stupid. They believe the news. They believe fucking TV shows are real. They're just idiots. It's like, motherfucker, none of it's real. Everything you see on entertainment is probably not real. And somebody said, do you think sports are rigged? I said, yeah, sometimes. I definitely think fighting is rigged. Or at least staged on some level.
Oh, really? Or I think, did you ever heard of Nico Hill?
No, who's Nico Hill?
He was some kind of ultimate fighter, but I think we went to some event. And somebody said, no, actually that was staged. I mean, because nobody really looked at beat it, but someone else I knew his name. He was actually.
Did he lose?
No, he won.
Well, it's like with Tito Ortiz, one of my ex-girlfriends. She was German. She used to manage him. And she said this over dinner and freaked out. We were like, bitch, shut the fuck up. She said, do you throw your fights? And where she came up with that, because she was super smart, she watched a video of him training. And she says, why aren't you doing that in the ring? What's going on here? Are you throwing the fights for money? And that's not uncommon in fighting.
Oh.
It's like the Diaz brothers, man. They should have been world champions a long time. If it was my organization, I would have made Nate a world champion a long time ago. Because he was great.
Yeah.
I would have massaged him and made him a champion. Even with his bad habits, he would have been a great champion. But they fuck with him. They fuck with you. It's like, like Conor McGregor was engineered. His fighting skill is probably a 3.
Oh, really?
He's not that good.
Well, I wonder if somebody like that is.
He just has so many bad habits. I know one of his people.
Mm.
He and I have a mutual friend, and I told him, I said, if he gets rid of his crew and he hired me, my teacher, and my friend Dion, that's all he would need. $500,000 a year each. Boom, boom, boom. And I said, I train him for fights. I said, but if he didn't listen to me, I'd throw his ass the fuck out.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be fucking coddling his faggoty fucking ass because he sucks. This is a passive move. This against the
it's also
will get you killed.
Well, it's also strange too with all the boxing because the thing is, there are a lot of these guys. There was the one guy who hit him with maybe like less than a minute into a fight or 20 seconds into the fight, he hit the guy in the chin and knocked him out, which happens in fighting. But I think I wonder what happened is with someone like Ronda Rousey. It's not really their... Well, no, those are just the circumstances. You can't blame
What happened with Ronda was she started to get real competition. And she didn't emphasize her strengths. She had a stupid fucking Armenian boxing coach that convinced this bitch she was a boxer. She's not a boxer.
Right.
She's a grappler.
Well,
she needed to emphasize her grappling. And she needed to work on her grappling to close on a striker. There's a way to do that. You stay on the outside here until they get tired, and then you take them to the ground. She started to believe her own fucking press.
Well, that was the...
And she got her ass kicked because she fought people with real skills.
Well, I think... Well, sometimes it's just like anything. Like football, it's the styles make the fight. So these people might have skills, but she might be able to overcome those skills with what she had. So she really didn't have anything that challenged her because whatever skills she had just superseded.
Well, when she fought Amanda Nunes, man, that bitch fucking almost killed her. It was a joke. They stopped the fight. She knocked her out.
Right, because they never had anybody who really was able to deal with her striking. Because that happens a lot in MMA compared to real boxers. Every now and then, a real boxer will get knocked out in 30 seconds or 10. Doesn't happen that often.
Well, it's a range issue. Amanda Nunes knew how to gauge the distance. In MMA, the boxing range is different. It's about 4 or 5 feet away. In boxing, it's about a foot to 2 feet away. Because you don't have to deal with anything other than the hands.
Oh, right.
But in MMA, it's like where this line, where you are, and that line right there. So they can judge when you're going to shoot. But Amanda Nunes lit her fuck. She fucking almost killed her. It was laughable.
But no,
she made her look like an amateur. She didn't even make her look like a professional fighter. She was just fucking smoking her.
Well, it was kind of they tried to bring her back too fast. If you know what the real problem is, then you bring someone along.
Well, even her mother was one of the greatest judo players ever, female.
Right.
Ronda's mom.
Worked at USC.
And Ronda's mom said her coaches are shit.
I think I heard that. Yeah.
They're awful. They don't know anything. Connor's coaches are horrible. I watched them and I'm like, they don't know anything. Because it's fixes that you can easily fix if you practice.
Well, so the thing is, a lot of times, so someone like that, because a lot of those fights, they ended so quickly, but if there's no one there to challenge you coming up, that's the thing with a lot of these professional fighters that like Ali they had to fight all these different amateurs, so they have... Even Mayweather, there's a whole range of skills and all these other things and all these variables that they have or learn how to deal with.